JamesPoetry.online.
Good day, Perceptive Readers. This is James Lynch of the JamesPoetry.online. I think I mentioned it right in the beginning. The new URL you see for my website. Granted, I still have popbooks.com because I still haven't transferred, my emails and things of that nature. There's a lot of domains. I just, I need to go and change the email address. That's just an FYI. But with that being said, remember, I view JamesPoetry.online as not only my creative side of things, but it is functioning again professionally. See, professionally. So the point is, I have my buy me a coffee, and who knows, somebody might want to pay me for a poem one day that I'd have made or something, or want me to make one for them. And guess what else? I may get paid for a detailed report another day. I may also get paid from time to time to revert back to some of my technical skills. You see, it's whatever you need to do to make a living at times. Wouldn't you agree? Now, with that being said, it made me think further, even yesterday, that I said, boy, the things we have to do for money. The things we have to do, you see, for money. And this actually was more in a form of prayer as well, because I certainly was talking to the grand creator about it on how in order to make money at times, I would say many people, maybe some people say the majority of us, we're just not really in the occupations that sings to our heart and mind. And remember the expression I made, it's like if you're doing something that you really enjoy, then because you don't get paid for it, then it's like a hobby. It's considered a hobby because you don't make money for it, even though it's an occupation that you're doing right now on such a beautiful level. Guess what? That other people get paid for. The ones who have found the right group, the ones who have family, the ones who actually found a nice environment to set up their lemonade stand, so to speak, for people who were patrons them and coffee shops. So all sorts of stuff. But the whole thing is, I still thought about, boy, the things we have to do for money today. And yet, guess what? One day, thanks to the good Lord, we have a promise that just making a living will not play such a major part in our day. You see what I'm saying? It'll be so much more to be able to enjoy life. You see what I'm saying? Than just trying to, some people say, scrape and scrounge every day. All the same, many of you entrepreneurs, because as you know, as an entrepreneur, what haven't you learned extra, you see, in order to make you an expert in what you do? What other jobs have you taken or have to take in order to get to where you need to be? I think about those college students, you see, many of those persons who got degrees, some of them who, were not given a grant or a scholarship, and, and their parents, didn't pay their way through college. How did they make it through college? Because, college, it costs some money. Some of them may have taken loans. Well, a lot of them took loans. And then, you had others, in order to offset the cost between their room, board, and then that loan. It was like, okay, look, I just got enough money for my education, but I still got to feed myself. I still got to, try to have some form of health regimen, whether they spent money going to the gyms and call it health care, if you will. But then at the same time, they had to buy a lot of those vitamin supplements too. Oh, let me tell you, they did. Though, and those health drinks and health, those vitamin supplements, stuff like that, smoothies, as I mentioned before, they run a pretty penny at times as well. Okay. So with all of that, what did they do for money? Oh my. They had to do a variety of jobs to work their way through college. And that's why I still continue to say, boy, the things we have to do, you see, for money, starting a new business. It is, you can have one man who's going to end up being the head over a whole corporation. But before he got there, he might have been in the mailroom of a building. He may have also worked at a restaurant. And then he may also, once again, did odds and ends jobs just to make ends meet. You see, boy, what we have to do for money. Even in a spiritual setting. Did you know persons who love people and become humanitarians? There's been times they've gone to other lands, and they didn't, have the same type of economy structure in from where they left from. So what did they do? They took the skills that they had. Some of them had crafts. Other persons had translation skills and other types of jobs that they may pick up because of the very first persons that they came in contact with was willing them to give them, like I use the expression, the time of day. And it may have been something that they knew something about, but they wasn't really, focusing on becoming an expert or masters in it. But guess what? It was paying the sum, sometimes handsomely, of what they really needed. So they took, again, their knowledge and their skills, and they made it work for them. The things we have to do for money. So with all that being said, perceptive readers, see, remember in the spiritual sense, that's what I want you to know. They did that because still in their mind, their main focus or job was still helping others. You see what I'm saying? Spiritually, to learn about the Holy Bible. So that's where that term secular came from. Your secular job, your secular occupation, your secular gig. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they needed to do. But to them, their main job was still what? Teaching people about God. You see, teaching people about God. And guess what? This was still, as we can see from the Bible, even with Paul making his tents. You see what I'm saying? Even with Paul making his tents so that he wouldn't have to be a burden on anybody else. That was pleasing by God that he was able to do that and that he did that and still made sure he helped people in his main occupation as well. Okay? Have a very wonderful, wonderful day, perceptive readers.